G'day YouTubers, I will review this week's round of the AFL season for the Thursday to Saturday games. Before I start, it will be appreciated if you can subscribe, comment and like to my channel. Let's get the show rolling. Woohoo! The first game of the week is between Gold Coast and Geelong, played at Darwin, at which 12,112 people attended the game. The final score were Gold Coast 26 goals 8, 164 to Geelong 15 goals 10, 100. Gold Coast smashed Geelong by 64 points. The goal kickers for the Suns were 5 goals to Lukosius and Humphrey, 4 goals to King, 3 goals to Day, 2 goals to Anderson, Long and Swallow, and singles to Ainsworth, Jeffrey and Rao. For the Cats, Stengel kicked 3 goals, 2 goals to Henry, Myers and Neil, and singles to Braun, Clark, Close, Holmes, Rowan and Tui. The best players for the Suns, there were a lot, were Flanders, Miller, Humphrey, Lukosius, Anderson, Rao and Day. For the Cats, their best players were Stengel, Myers and Holmes. The final score showed the game was not close. However, in the first quarter, the Cats kicked 5 goals to 4 to take a 3-point lead at quarter time. In the second quarter, Gold Coast smashed Geelong by scoring 7 goals to 1 to take a 33-point lead half time. The Suns continued their domination in the third quarter by kicking 8 goals to 2 to take a 66-point lead at 3-quarter time. In the final quarter, there were plenty goals, with Gold Coast kicking 7 goals to Geelong 7 goals, with the Suns winning by 64 points. In looking at the stats, Anderson for the Suns had 42 disposals, followed by Flanders and Rao with 37 and 35 disposals respectively. For the Cats, Holmes had 32 disposals, followed by Myers with 29 and Dempsey with 25 disposals. As the Suns dominated the game, in terms of disposals, the Suns were plus 82, they had 40 more kicks, 42 more handballs, 17 more inside 50s. The Cats were plus 2 with efficiency inside 50, and the Suns had 1 more turnover. My 3-2-1 for the brownlow votes are 3 votes to Anderson, Gold Coast, who had 2 goals, 42 disposals, 3 marks, 4 tackles, 4 clearances, 697 metres gained, and 1 goal assist. 2 votes to Rao, Gold Coast, who had 1 goal, 35 disposals, 10 tackles, 8 clearances, 541 metres gained, and 3 goal assists. 1 vote to Flanders, Gold Coast, who had 37 disposals, 7 marks, 2 tackles, 4 clearances, and 557 metres gained. The second game of the week was a Friday night game between Sydney and Carlton, played at the SCG. The final score was Sydney 17 goals 15, 117 to Carlton 9 goals 11, 65. The Swans smashed Carlton by 52 points. The goal kickers for the Swans were 3 goals to Chad Warner and Heenley, and 2 goals to Amartey, Papley, McLean, and singles to Ray Walden, Cunningham, Mix, Jordan, and Haywood. For the Blues, Coney 2 goals, and singles to Hewitt, Williams, Kennedy, Walsh, Always, McKay, and McGowan. The best players for the Swans were Grundy, Jordan, Warner, Heaney, Rowbottom, and Golden. The best players for the Blues were Newman, Curnow, Akers, and Cripps. Both teams had injuries, with Fox of the Swans suffering a shoulder injury, and Wiedering for the Blues suffering a thigh injury. The final score shows that the game was not close. However, in the first quarter, Carlton kicked 5 goals to 3 to take a 9-point lead at the quarter time break. However, in the second quarter, Carlton were goalless, with the Swans kicking 4 goals, and the Swans led by 14 points at half time. In the third quarter, Sydney totally dominated and smashed Carlton in this quarter, with the Swans kicking 7 goals to 2 to take a 45-point lead at 3-quarter time, and the game was just basically over at this stage. And in the final quarter, the Swans won this quarter by kicking 3 goals to 2 to win by 52 points. For the Swans, Chad Warner had 28 disposals, followed by Gordon and Heaney with 28 and 24 disposals respectively. For the Blues, Nick Newman had 32 disposals, with Crits with 24, then followed by Akers with 23 disposals. Based on the stats, the Swans were plus 15 in disposals, handballs they were plus 15, inside 50 the Swans were plus 11, and their efficiency inside 50 the Swans were plus 18, what a significant difference. In terms of turnovers, the Swans were minus 4, and they led for 75% of the game. My 3-2-1 for the brownlow votes are 3 votes to C. Warner, Sydney. He had 3 goals, 28 disposals, 4 marks, 4 tackles, 2 clearances, 561 minutes game, and 3 goal assists. 2 votes to I. Heaney, Sydney. He had 3 goals, 24 disposals, 4 marks, 8 tackles, 5 clearances, 342 minutes game, and 1 goal assist. 1 vote to E. Gordon, Sydney. He had 28 disposals, 10 marks, 3 tackles, 2 clearances, and 721 meters gained. The next game of the week is between Collingwood and Adelaide. The final score was Collingwood 12 goals 678 to Adelaide 11 goals 874. Collingwood won by 4 points. The goal kickers for Collingwood were 2 goals to Gowie, McInnes and Pendlebury, and singles to Cripps, Hoskin Elliott, Hill, Noble, Richards and Schultz. For the Crows, Shelley, Fogarty both kicked 2 goals apiece, with singles to Hillenberg, Rankin, Cook, Murphy, Scholl and Walker. The best players for Collingwood were the 2 Dacos brothers, Pendlebury, Gowie and Cripps. For the Crows, their best players were Rankin, Crouch, Dawson, Keane, Saligo, Hinge and Laird. Both teams suffered a number of injuries. For the Magpies, Hoskin Elliott did a hamstring and McInnes suffered concussion, whereas for the Crows, Rankin suffered a hamstring injury in the dying seconds. The final score indicated that the game was close. In the first quarter, Collingwood kicked 4 goals to 3 to lead by 7 points at quarter time. In the second quarter, Collingwood doubled their goals by kicking 4 goals to 3 to lead by 11 points at half time. However, it was this quarter that played a significant part of the game, where Collingwood kicked 5 consecutive goals. In the third quarter, Collingwood kicked 3 goals to 2 to lead by 17 points at 3-quarter time. The Crows won the final quarter by kicking 3 goals to 1. However, Collingwood won the game by winning by 4 points. For the Magpies, N. Dacos had 41 disposals, followed by Pendlebury and Josh Dacos, who both had 30 disposals each. For the Crows, Crouch had 34 disposals, followed by Rankin and Dawson with 30 and 29 disposals respectively. In looking at the stats, the Magpies were minus 28 in disposals, handballs they were minus 28, inside 50 they were minus 9, and the efficient inside 50 the Magpies were plus 12. This played a significant amount, as their kicking efficiency inside 50 basically won them the game, especially in a 4-point win. In turnovers, Collingwood were plus 6, and they led for 85% of the game. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow votes are 3 votes to I. Rankin, Adelaide, who had 1 goal, 3 disposals, 2 marks, 4 tackles, 8 clearances, and 699 meters gained. 2 votes to N. Dacos, Collingwood. He had 31 disposals, 1 mark, 5 tackles, 14 clearances, 542 meters gained, and 1 goal assist. 1 vote to S. Pendlebury, Collingwood. He had 2 goals, 3 disposals, 2 marks, 3 tackles, 6 clearances, 388 meters gained, and 2 goal assists. The next game is between the Greater Western Sydney against the Western Bulldogs. The final score was 6 goals 7.3 for the Giants, and for the Bulldogs 8 goals 22. 70, the Bulldogs won by 27 points. There were 7,747 people that attended the game. The goal kickers for the Giants were 3 goals to Green and Hogan. For the Bulldogs, Darcy and Harms both kicked 2 goals apiece, whereas Ugelhagel, West, Vandermeer and Norton all kicked 1 goal apiece. The best players for the Giants were Whitfield, Hogan, Green and Green, both Greens, Tom and Toby Green. The best players for the Bulldogs were Richards, Darcy, McRae, Norton, Harm and Chulor. There was 1 injury for the game, with Jones of the Giants suffering a hamstring injury. This game was played in wet conditions, and there was a fair amount of behind scored for this game. In the first quarter, the Giants won this quarter by kicking 2 goals, and the Bulldogs were goalless with 5 behinds, and the Giants took an 8-point lead at quarter time. In the second quarter, the Bulldogs kicked 4 goals to 2 to take a 5-point lead at half-time break. In the third quarter, the Giants were goalless and the Bulldogs kicked the sole goal, with the Bulldogs taking a 14-point lead at 3-quarter time. And in the final quarter, the Doggies 3 goals to 2 to run out with a 27-point win. This game was played in a wet condition and the Doggies scoring 22 behinds. Great win for the Whistling team. In terms of stats, for the Giants, Whitfield had 31 disposals, Hilberg had 30, and Tom Green had 29 disposals. For the Whistling Bulldogs, Treloar had 35 disposals, followed by Richards and McRae with 27 and 23 disposals respectively. Looking at the team stats, the Doggies were minus 25 in disposals, they were minus 11 in kicks, inside 50, a big difference, the Doggies were plus 21, the Doggies efficiency inside 50 were plus 2%, the Doggies were minus 8 in turnovers, and they led for 80% of the game. My 3-2-1 for the brownlow votes are 3 votes to a Treloar Bulldogs, who had 35 disposals, 1 mark, 4 tackles, 6 clearances, and 274 winners game. 2 votes to Earl Whitfield GWS, who had 31 disposals, 3 marks, 1 tackle, 1 clearances, and 761 winners game. 1 vote to Toby Green GWS, who had 3 goals, 17 disposals, 3 marks, 1 tackle, 4 clearances, 380 meters game, and 1 goal assist. The next game of the week is between St Kilda and Fremantle. There was 19,265 attended the game. The final score was St Kilda 8 goals 7-55 to Fremantle 9 goals 18-72. The Doggers won by 17 points. The goal kickers for the Saints were 3 goals to Owen, 2 goals to Calamity, and singles to Philippe, Henry, and Dow. For the Dockers, Amos and O'Meara both kicked 2 goals apiece, and singles to Tracy, Banfield, Watt, Sharp, and Johnson. The best players for the Saints are Owens, Winhager, Steele, Sinclair, and Marshall. The best players for Freo were Clark, Jackson, Sarong, Young, and Brayshaw. For the Dockers, Frederick suffered a concussion. The final score showed that the game was pretty tight. In the first quarter, the Dockers kicked 3 goals to 2 to take an 8-point lead at quarter time. In the second quarter, the Saints kicked 3 goals and were shrinking to Fremantle to 2 goals, with the Saints trailing by 3 points at half time. In the third quarter, St Kilda kicked 2 goals to 1 for the game to be tied at half time. In the last quarter, Fremantle ran away, kicking 3 goals to 1 to win by 17 points. For the Saints, Marshall had 31 disposals, Wanganing Mirror had 30, and Sinclair had 29. For the Dockers, Sarong had 30 disposals, followed by Clark and Young with 29 and 27 disposals respectively. Looking at the stats, Freo were plus 22 in disposals, they were minus 29 in kicks, inside 50 the Dockers were plus 8, Fremantle's efficiency inside 50, which was a significant difference, was plus 25%, Fremantle were minus 2 in turnovers, and they led for 50% of the match, and at the end of the game when it mattered. My 3-2-1 for the Brownlow votes are 3 votes to C. Sarong, Fremantle, who had 30 disposals, 2 marks, 5 tackles, 9 clearances, 451 minutes game, and 1 goal assist. 2 votes to R. Marshall, St Kilda, who had 31 disposals, 7 marks, 9 tackles, 39 hitouts, 8 clearances, and 366 minutes game. 1 vote to N. Wanganing Miller, who had 30 disposals, 6 marks, 3 tackles, and 555 minutes game. The next game on the Saturday night was between Brisbane and Richmond at the Gabba, at which 27,200 people attended the game. The final score was Brisbane 26 goals 7, 163 to the hapless Richmond 6 goals 8, 3-4. The Lions smashed Richmond by 119 points. This game was no contest. The goal kickers for the Lions were 5 goals to Cameron and Lohman, 3 goals to Danaher and Rayner, 2 goals to McInerney and Morris, and singles to Zorko, Hitwood, Archie, McCluggage, Rowell, and Sharp. For the Tigers, Cumberland kicked 2 goals and singles to Bolter, Coulter, LaFou, and Mansell. The best players for the Lions, if we basically name the entire team, was Cameron, McInerney, Danaher, Lohman, Zorko, Neal, and Rayner. The best players for the Tigers were Brown, Pressy, and Rioli. Richmond suffered 2 injuries, with LaFou breaking his jaw and Mansell suffering a head injury. Based on the score, which the game was no contest, the Lions jumped into an impressive start, banging 7 goals to nothing to lead by 41 at quarter time. The game was over by quarter time and there was no contest. In the second quarter, the Lions continued their domination by kicking 6 goals to 2, take a 65-point lead at half time. And in the third quarter, the Lions kicked 8 goals to 2 to lead by 92 points. So they're going to try and aim for a 100+ point win in the final quarter. And in the last quarter, the Lions kicked 5 goals to 2 to win by 119 points. For the Lions, Neal had 36 disposal, Zorko had 35 disposal, and Dunkley had 26 disposal. For the Tigers, Rioli had 25 disposals, followed by Pressy and McAuliffe, who had 23 and 20 disposals respectively. Looking at the stats, the Lions were class A9 in disposals. They had 114 more kicks. Inside 50, the Lions were plus 20. The efficiency inside 50, the Lions were plus 18%. What a big difference. In terms of turnovers, the Lions were -7 and they led for 100% of the game. My 3-2-1 for the brownlow votes are 3 votes in Neal, Brisbane, who had 36 disposals, 11 marks, 5 clearances, 584 minutes gained, and 6 goal assists. 2 votes to Zorko, Brisbane Lion. He had 1 goal, 35 disposals, 15 marks, 2 clearances, 472 minutes gained, and 1 goal assist. 1 vote to K. Lohman, Brisbane Lion, who had 5 goals, 14 disposals, 7 marks, 2 tackles, 2 clearances, and 244 minutes gained. That's my review for the Thursday to Saturday night AFL games for this week's round. I will continue with a follow-up video, part B, to review the Sunday games.